Alright, so we are back again. And we are doing a player, well, he didn't really play much. He played 3 years in the league and did absolutely jack squat. So we're going to see if we can help this man out. And we are going to try and help out Trent Richardson. Obviously, here, um, basically, I thought I had the NCAA for him that he was a freshman in, but I guess I don't. I didn't realize what year he was a freshman in. I thought he was a freshman in this year, which is NCAA 11. I thought he was a freshman this year, so I did get it mixed up. Um, but yes, he is a sophomore. We will do his 3 years to give him the full stacked. You can tell they got Eddie Lacy, they got Greg McElroy, AJ McCarron, Julio Jones is on this team. I mean, this whole offense is stacked. I mean, the defense is relatively decent too, but I mean, the offense is just straight stacked. But with Trent being a sophomore and Mark Ingram being a junior, he will not be the starter right away. And as you can tell, Eddie Lacy's right behind his back. Like, all these guys were first 2 rounds, basically. I mean, Mark Ingram was, I think, like the 22nd, 26th, like in the 20s in the first round. Obviously, the third round pick, or the third overall pick, and then the second round pick. Like, this backfield was just disgusting. So, we're going to see how we can do, see if he'll still be a legend. I don't believe he won a Heisman in college. I'll look that up and see if it's true, but I don't think he ever won it. So, we're going to see if we can help our boy become one of the best backs, or is he going to be just another bust again and only last a few years and be just crap? So let's head on to the end of the season, see what awards he wins, see how the team did, and then we'll go from there. Well, we already got our SEC bid bowl because we are undefeated and still number one. Like, was there any doubt? Okay, well, this game isn't really... Oh, shoot. I take it back. Now this is kind of a game now. I mean, granted, there's only like a minute left, and they're down by 10, so they have a lot of work to make up for. But yeah, this is college football. Anything can possibly happen. I mean, have you seen the last couple weeks in just college football in real life? I mean, the ridiculous amount of teams that lost. I mean, last weekend alone, I think what 3 top 15 teams lost to teams that were either not ranked or underneath them. Like, it was ridiculous. And yeah, so yeah, we're good. We don't got to worry. This team is so stacked. I'm not even concerned of us not winning a national title. It's honestly, it's more how much are we going to win the national title by? Because I mean, there's just no way we're not going to win the national title. So like, I'm not worried about it at all. Like, I mean, I don't know why they don't just put our boy Trent in and let him get some running yards. I mean, the game's already over. Let our boy get some running yards. Let's get him on the game, something. I will say, for as much as I like NCAA 14, I don't like that it doesn't give you any celebration like this one does. Like, it doesn't give you, like, it just ends. Like, that's it. There's no celebration. There's no being happy that you just won, Like, there's nothing. And I kind of don't like that. I wish they would have done more in NCAA, but obviously, you can see we are SEC champions. No surprise. And like what I tell you, we're going to the national title game, and we're going to win the national title game. I don't care if Texas A&M is undefeated. If Johnny Manziel's there, we're crushing them. And what did I tell you? National champions. And it wasn't Johnny Manziel. And hey, there's our boy getting some playing time. Granted, he didn't do much there. He got taken out like almost immediately. But hey, at least we're getting some playing time from him. But yeah, it's not Johnny Manziel. It's actually Ryan Tannehill. So what does that tell you how old this game is? I mean, Ryan Tannehill is the quarterback here. But we are national champions. Did anybody have any doubt that it was going to be us? Like, seriously. who really was doubting Alabama, the most stacked team probably in this game, was not going to win this? Like, who really thought? Who really didn't think that? So, yeah, not worried about that. We're the best. We're going to continue to keep being the best because we are Alabama. So let's just enjoy our celebration and see who is player of the game. I'm going to go with the guess of a running back. Oh, shit. It was our boy. What? That's pretty sweet. Okay, that's pretty sweet. That might be the thumbnail right there for him. I mean, holy crap, I was not expecting that. That's awesome. Let's go on to the stats and see how we did this year. Like, that's pretty sweet. See, this is what they should have had in NCAA 14. They don't have this, and it kind of sucks. So his first year, not terrible stats. I mean, is it going to tell me how many games he played? No, it will not tell me that. But that's fine. So he had about 200 carries, 836 yards, 4.2 rushes per, or yards per rush, 5 touchdowns. I mean, that's not terrible. And the only reason he was playing in the national title game is because Ingram was injured. So, I mean, I'm not mad with this. I'm not mad with this for his freshman year, or basically his sophomore year, but we're gonna call it his freshman year. Not bad stats. Basically nobody on our team really did anything. Nobody won any awards. We had like maybe 2 people come close. I know Trent Richardson was close to winning Returner of the Year, but other than him and maybe one other person, nobody was even really close. So kind of sucks, but maybe next year will be better. Let's see what happens. So, yeah, I don't know what happened. I'm not really sure how we went from national champions and undefeated to 7-5. No idea. Well, bright side is we managed to win the Texas Bowl. But yeah, I have no idea what happened and why we ended up being this bad this year. Like, I have no idea why we were 7-5 after being national champions in the last one. Like, I have no idea what happened. So, I'm just gonna have to hope for a better season next year. But our boy Trent, player of the game, so you can't go wrong with that. Just not sure what happened this year. Well, for a second year, stats are not too bad. Didn't win any awards, but not bad stats. Had over 1,000 yards rushing, double-digit touchdowns. Receiving numbers went down, but I mean, overall, not a bad year. Not a bad year at all. I will definitely take that. So, hopefully, this last year will be his best year, and we can end it on a high note, and hopefully not have another 7-5, because I don't know what the hell happened with that. Well, we made it back to the SEC Championship, and we are undefeated. So if we win this game, we're going to the national title, and we can end our career in college being undefeated in bowl games and going to a bowl in national title. So let's hope we can win this game. So I'm not really sure what the heck happened and why we went 7-5 last season. I'm not sure what fluke happened because we are crushing the number 1 team in South Carolina. So I'm not really 100% sure what happened that year. It's very confusing now, especially after we just watched us blow out number 1 in the SEC title game. So now we're going to the national title game. There's no doubt about that. I mean, 45-14. How do you do that? And like, I don't know how you do that. It just doesn't make sense to me. But hey, I'm not going to complain about that. I'm happy about that. We're going back to the national title game, so let's hope that we can win the national title and we can end our college career on a high note. Um, Obviously, again, our boy, player of the game. You can't go wrong with this. You can't go wrong with it at all. So let's head to the national title game. Hopefully, we win some awards. We haven't won any awards yet, so that kind of sucks. So let's hope we can win some kind of award too. Well, stupid Connor Shaw won it, but we came in third place, so we came close, but no cigar in the Heisman. And we're gonna be playing Penn State in the national title, so I think we've got it. I'm gonna go out on a whim and say I think we're winning the national title game, no doubt. Well, we ended up winning this one. Pretty close though. I think it was like it's gonna show the score right here, but it was a really close game there. It was a fight. Like it took until the last point, and I accidentally simmed it too far, not realizing that I'd simmed it too far. But yeah, I mean it was a really close game, but we ended up ending on a high note. I also want to point out Trent Richardson got just robbed in the best running back award. Like the dude who won it from Penn State had nothing better than us. The only thing he had better than us was his rushing touchdowns, and he had one more. He had 13. We had 12. Our receiving yards were better. Our rushing yards were better. Everything was better than him. So at least we're going on the high note as BCS national champions, and he could take his stupid single award because we're the best team in college football. So let's head to the pros and let's see if we can revive this man's career and make it a little bit better. So here's his final stats. Had 1,500 yards, which actually before the season ended, before we played in that game, he had like 1,300 yards. 13 touchdowns. Sorry that I was yawning there. I was a little tired. It's been a long day. Not bad stats. Like he got better as the years went on. Like he ended up just getting better and better, finishing with over 3,000 yards. Not anything too shabby there. I mean, not bad numbers here. I'd say his college career was a success here. I'd say that he definitely had a good college career. And now I'm hoping that once we go to the pros that we can revive this man's career and we will hopefully see him turn out to be the best running back and not the biggest bust in NFL history. Alright, so we are here in Madden 13, my least favorite Madden. This is probably by far the one Madden I absolutely hate more than any of them because there's no franchise mode. You have to do career mode, which, I mean, works for us because we're doing just a career of just one player anyway. But, yeah, this is freaking stupid. I hate that there's no franchise mode. Like, you can only do career mode. Like, it's just dumb. I don't like how it's set up. It's probably my least favorite Madden and favorite game ever. But we are here with Trent Richardson, the third overall pick in the 2012 NFL Draft. Didn't play many years, so we are hoping to at least last longer than a few years than he did. Starting overall is about 82, which isn't bad. Let's take a quick look. Physical grade is 92. Tangible grade 81. Durability is 94. Size. Production speed's about 90. Strength is 85. Agility's 80. I mean, but not bad numbers at all. This team, though, is just, yeah. I mean, Colt McCoy is our best quarterback. Sanelica Wallace, former Seahawk. Brandon Weeden, bust. Like, absolute bust. And freaking almost is older than the dude who's been in the league for 2 years and almost as old as the guy from 90s. Like, yeah, that was a smart pick. I mean, our receivers aren't anything great. I mean, other than Josh Cribbs, I wouldn't say I want any of these people on my team. I mean, Jesus Christ. Greg Little is the best player, and Greg Little didn't jack squat. So let's just go through this and see what ends up happening this first year. I might do every 5 years, but we'll see how long this freaking takes. Because, dear God, I hate how it sims. It sims 1 week at a time, and it takes freaking forever. So we'll see how long my patience will go. All right, so we're in our 4th year right now, and I just decided, because the only way you can really do this is with the career. So it's not even like he gets a free chance to pick where he wants to go or how he's gonna like decide like normally it would. So I didn't sign back with the Browns basically because the Browns weren't fucking going nowhere. They sucked, and I got tired of us missing the playoffs. So I put all the teams that were available, or I should not say available, but all the teams that wanted us on a wheel, and I spun it just to see who we were going to sign with. So we ended up signing with Kansas City. That's the only thing I'm having an involvement with, is if our boy ain't doing good, I'm going to try and send him to a team that's at least a little better. It kind of sucked because there were, I think the Niners were on there and the Lions, which surprisingly the Lions were 14-2. So I kind of wanted him to go there to be on a winning team, but the Chiefs weren't bad. I think their record last season was like 8-8 on here. So, and I think it worked out because I guess the scheme fit fine. I think it was one of the few ones that fit. I think there was like 2 other teams that it would have worked too. But hopefully we could do something here in Kansas City, but we're still in the AFC. Let's see if we can continue this after the 5th year here. All right, so 5th season. We are going to the playoffs finally. It's only taken 5 years to finally get to that point, but we're finally getting there. As you can see, he had probably his best season yet. By far, this is probably his best season. So no, I was wrong. Actually, his rookie season was his best season rushing-wise, but he's hit 1,000 yards every single year. So, not bad at all. And the thing is, the fact that he even has 1,300 yards and he is the backup is pretty impressive. So, I don't know if they're just doing back and forth carries or it's like a running back committee type of thing. Like, I'm not sure what they're doing, but the fact that we had 1,300 yards and back to 10 touchdowns, I'm cool with that. Like, I'm not going to complain about that. That's our best season, obviously, in a while. Granted, we've had 1,000 yards every single year, so you really cannot complain. But yeah, he's doing great. Like, I would definitely say these are a lot better than his actual career, so he's already exceeding what he did in real life. I mean, this is, like, probably his best year overall because even his receiving yards are great. This was his best year receiving-wise, but to add on to the fact of how many rushing yards he also has, like, this is probably his best. What was it? I think he had 10, so he's got 13 touchdowns total this season. I mean, he's killing it. If he's not at least winning some kind of award or even making it to the Pro Bowl for the first time, I'm going to be a little disappointed. So I'm really hoping we get something. Granted, we're in the playoffs, so I'm happy with just that. But I would like a little more. I'd like to help the boy out. You know, let's see him become a Pro Bowl, win an MVP, something. You know, it'd be nice. So I'm not sure how much game footage I'll be able to get. I don't know if it'll just play it for me instead of making me play. I have no idea because this is the same rules as Madden 25, where if you basically don't pick the other team, you're gonna be playing the game, which I don't understand why you have to be either team. Like, I can't watch. I don't know what button that is to make it so I don't have to play, but I'll try and figure that out. But yeah, figured I'd give you something just in case I can't get it to work. So I'm hoping I can get it to work, but if not, at least there's some footage and I can let you know if we won or lost. Hopefully in this playoff game we are going to win because I really don't want to not get out of the playoffs, and they really screwed Romeo Cornell there. Like, damn, did you have to make him look like that? Like, he doesn't look like that. Like, he could have been a little bit better with that. So just to let you know, we didn't win the playoff. I could not figure out a way to let us just watch. I didn't want to play. I didn't want to be involved. So there's no way I can do that. That kind of sucks. So I can only... I don't really know what I can do to fix that. So this kind of sucks. I even hate this game even more now because of that bullshit. Like, it won't even let me sim to, like, the end of the game. Like, I have to play the fucking game. Like, it kind of sucks. Like, I don't really like that at all. Like, it's just... I feel like that's the dumbest thing ever. Why would you make that a thing on here, you know? It makes no sense. It's just dumb. It's dumb. That's why I hate this Madden. This is probably my least favorite Madden ever. But this is obviously the 2012 draft, so if I wanted to do it on another one, I'd have to skip the rookie year, I guess, like for Andrew Luck and RG3 and stuff, which will kind of suck. I don't want to have to do that, so I'll have to try and figure out something, but I just wanted to let you guys know we didn't win that playoff game. Alright, so we made the playoffs at 10-6, taking on the Texans, which... I'm glad we both have a prestige of a D. That's great. And I'm glad our offense is, like, ranked dead last almost. I'm so glad about that. So, I think what I'll do for the playoffs, since I can't figure out a way to do it without actually being involved in playing, like, I'm not doing that. So I'm not screwing that up. So, I might just sim it, check the player stats, and then play, like, highlights over it so we know what he did either in that game or if we make it to the Super Bowl and stuff, what he did in the playoffs. So, like, we'll go from there. I'll do something like that so we can see something and see what he did. So, yeah, I'll probably put it in after this part, so it might seem a little off because I'll be doing it 2 different ways. But we'll figure it out. We'll make it work. But, yeah, we're in the playoffs, so let's hope we can do something in the playoffs. All right, so we are a free agent because I am not re-signing with Kansas City. Screw Kansas City. They sucked. I was tired of us missing the playoffs. We weren't doing anything. So here's the teams that we possibly could be joining. I made a wheel. If anything, I don't care that their prestige is a D. I'd rather go with the team who has a winning record. I don't want to be with a 7-9 team that's an F. I mean, granted, they're also an F and 9-7. But I'm not putting Washington on there because just screw Washington. So yeah, I'd like to go on one of these good teams and actually do something with our career. So I put all the teams other than Washington for obvious reasons. So I'll spin the wheel, and that's the team that we're going to end up signing with. Alright, so here's the spin wheel for us. As you can see, everybody's on there other than Washington, and that's because of obvious reasons. So let's see where we are going to end up going. I'm hoping somebody good. Jaguars. I mean, they have a 9-7 record, so yay? Maybe? Alright, well, we are here in Jacksonville. Let's hope being with Jacksonville will be what we really needed, and this will start our playoff run. I'm hoping. Alright, so we're back in the playoffs. First year with the Jags. Our defense is number 1. Our offense is, of course, in the bottom because I don't know why, but it's just apparently a thing that happens every year. So, hopefully we can win the playoffs and advance and maybe get, I don't know, out of the first round for the first time in this whole series. Well, we had another 1,000-yard rushing season. I think we've had a 1,000-yard rushing season almost every single season. So, that's not been bad. Our touchdowns aren't super great, but let's see what the last 5 years have brought us. Alright, so our first year, or second year I should say, with the Chiefs wasn't as good as the first one. Went down about 100 yards and had one less touchdown. Went back to 1,300 yards the very next year. Scored 6 touchdowns. Then went to 1,100 with 4 touchdowns. So it wasn't great. Like, it was just getting worse and worse. Then our first year with the Jags was great. 1,400 yards, Pro Bowl in the playoffs, which we ended up losing in the first round. 11 touchdowns. I think 11 is the most. Yeah, 11 is the most we have scored in a season. And then this season, I don't even want to freaking get into this season. At one point, we were 0-9. I don't know how we go from being a playoff team to having a great season to 0-9. I just don't get it. You could see that my carries went down, which they shouldn't have. They should have stayed the same. As you could see, I was having a great season. So why wouldn't we try to replicate that again? But no, we just decided to screw it up, and now I have probably my worst season. Yeah, by far my worst season yet, with 10,000, about 1,000 right there. So like, it's just not great. It's not great. 1,000 yards and barely 100. Like, I don't know. It could have been a whole lot better, and the team sucked. So I'm really regretting my decision to come here. Like, I feel like I just want to demand a release so we can leave the Jags, because this team sucks. 2 Pro Bowls and that's it. Like, I mean, he's already having a much better year than what he had, like, career than what he had in real life. I mean, he's got over 12,000 yards already. I mean, 72 touchdowns. It's just like, I mean, he's doing great. Don't get me wrong at all. Like, I'm just saying, like, he is doing great, but at the end of the day, like, we're not doing anything really. Statistically, we're putting up decent numbers, but we're not winning awards. We're not winning games. Like, we're barely going to the Pro Bowl. We've been to the Pro Bowl twice. And, like, I don't know. I was expecting a little bit more, but I don't know. Maybe I was expecting too much from him. So, if the next 10 years he ends up doing something, I'll show it, which I doubt. But, obviously, if he's still playing 15 years, I'll show the last 5 years, but if he ends up retiring, I'll let you know anything that happens in between there. But yeah, this season sucked. This last season was probably the worst so far. Alright, so finally retired. As you can see, not terrible numbers. I mean, that's great right there. 18,000 yards, 114 touchdowns, about 4,000 carries. Only lost about 48 fumbles, which isn't terrible at all. Yards per carry was 4. I mean, not bad. I mean, even his receiving yards aren't terrible at all. Obviously, I'll put something down for, where he stacks up on everything else. But yeah, this is basically his career. It is over after... Let me check real quick. 14 years. 15. 15 years. 15 years he did. And sadly, he only made the playoffs, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? 5 times? So, yeah, not the greatest success again. Playoff. We haven't really had one in a while since Dwayne, so hopefully the next one won't be too bad. But yeah, it definitely a better career than what he had last year. I mean, I'd say he's probably the best running back ever. I don't know if it'll let me see. Yeah, I don't know if it'll give me what everybody else did. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Yeah, so on the game itself, he is 4th all time. I will see where he ranks in real life stats too, because that's what I always do. But yeah, in the game, he is 4th all time. So I'd say he is a Hall of Famer 100%. Like, there's no doubt in that. He is definitely a Hall of Famer. Yeah, I don't... Let's see. Where is he in? Touchdown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's in the top 10 for rushing touchdowns as well. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with this at all. Like, he had a pretty damn good career. And, yeah, I'm not mad about that. I'm not mad about that. I'm going to say he's a Hall of Famer. 100%. I mean, how can you go against these numbers? Like, those numbers are great. I mean, he is fourth all time on here. I think in real life he's probably first. I will obviously check that and see where he stacks up in real life. But yeah, I'm going to say overall he had a great career. And I'm not sure who I'm doing for the next one. It's between two different players that I've been wanting to do. I'm just not sure which one I'm going to do. If I'm going to do Jeff Gladney or Marion Barber, one of those two. Obviously, this one's going to come out a little bit later because I didn't get it done in time. But we'll see. But yeah, overall, Hall of Famer in my book. And then here is his numbers for where he stands all time in real life. And as you can see, second in carries, second in rushing yards, fifth in touchdowns. He's basically a Hall of Famer. If he had this career in real life, I mean, who knows? But yeah, Hall of Famer in my book, 100%.